Hello, it's like, here, show you the Dora the Explorer, and along right here is like you got the for the bandage protection. It's like you got these three, four different types of band-aids. It's like you got that now that would say a variety of colors, and then it's like this you got the band here, the pad for the band-aid, but right here is like it shows that if a kid were to cut themselves, and a lot of times is that if they cut their finger, or if they cut their hand, or something like that, it could be a paper cut. Then a lot of times that it would show that it would say it would bleed for a little bit, or maybe they would get a scar or something like that. But then after the scar, and then more likely it's like that a lot of times it could be a shot, or it could be say is a splinter. It could be a splinter, or say a bump or something like that. A normal paper cut, and a lot of times is that if you don't put like a certain protection on it, then then germs would develop inside the cut, and then you'll possibly could get infected. But a lot of times, which I'm sure that parents do a lot of medical research, is to that germs. It's like a lot of times the germs from the air would get into the cut, and then cause irritation to the wound, because a lot of times is that which a lot of kids or whoever that would accidentally cut their finger or something, that opening to where the wound was, that a lot of times would get irritated, if the air were to get into it, like, since a lot of times that they were working and handling boxes or whatever, or handling, say, raw meat or something like that, that a lot of times is that germs, for whatever they're working with, or whatever, that could be in the air, or maybe on say that the doorknobs or the bathroom faucet or whatever, that could get in there and cause infection. It's like something to keep it protected with, and more or less be as a band-aid. And a lot of times, like the band-aid, which provides, like you say, protection of the padding, and then along right here is that another reason too why you would need to wear a band-aid is it pretty much is to prevent infection, and then it's like to keep it protected. It's like whatever ointments that you put on there is it to that way it would keep the wound covered, and so that way it won't get infected or swollen, or say this, like, or it could cause the wound to get worse. But a lot of times is that with the wound, that if it's not treated right, then more like it's possible it could maybe spread, and then that cause irritation to the skin as well. But you just really that the whole thing about germs is that like that if the cut is not treated right, then most likely it's possible that you can run into some infections. But so far as that, it's like with paper cut, a splinter, and along with the bruise, that it's like with the bruise, or it could be a scab, that a lot of times is that you begin to wonder about scabs. That scabs, I guess, are types of forms of healing, that the skin is healing on the inside, but then just waiting for the outer part of it, a new piece of skin to form on wherever the wound was. And then along with the bruise is that if you were to injure yourself doing something, and you would see a bruise, that a lot of times I guess that means that it's whatever blood cells inside the skin, or you would say, or you happen that little teeny blood cells that were ruptured or whatever, and that's something that kind of lasts for a couple of hours, and it goes away afterwards. But a lot of times, which probably say is that if there ain't no swellingness or anything like that, or pain, and then just said no need to see a doctor about that. But as long as the hand wash your hands along with the hand sanitizer, and then along with say say the ointment, that the cream that you would put on the cut, that that you would use along with the Band-Aid, along with the cotton ball. But then you got the characters right here that and along with the first aid kit symbol is that which say is like in every cut and every time that you had these the Band-Aids, and like the bandages, you get like these characters of Dora the Explorer, that you put the Band-Aid on, and then a lot of times is that it's like in to be walk around the forest, and then it's like to find the right type of medicine. You have to have medicine. It's like a lot of times is that that you would think about maybe a leaf would be a good example of maybe a Band-Aid to use until you actually got something from like the medical labs or something. But you got the say the 3D type 3D type symbol for the characters on the Band-Aid. It's like you got the say the, I don't know if that's the parrot or something like that, one of the characters from Dora the Explorer. And along, like you got the boots, and then along with the frog, but and then along with stitches. Now I'm sure a lot of people have had stitches before, that that they would go if they were to have surgery or something like that, or get a real bad wound or something, that they would have stitches. Get stitches, and a lot of times is that that you get stitches, and then a lot of times they would eventually fall out. But so far as a splinter, that I'm sure a lot of people have had splinters, but a lot of times is they say is take a needle, and then it's like you got the sewing type needle, but a needle or some type of what you call of a cutting tonsil, nothing real too sharp, but about the size of a toothpick. But I was thinking that I don't know if it would be safe maybe to use a paper clip. A lot of times some people would probably say a needle with the sewing, and then the thread without the thread, but take the needle which you would use for your sewing your sewing machine or something, that a lot of people would use a needle like that to remove any types of splinters like wood and stuff like that beneath the skin. But a lot of times is that there's a special medical needle that is recommended. But so far as for Bandage, the Bandage protection, along with the hand sanitizer and keeping their hands washed, and then keeping the cut or wound protected, along with Dora the Explorer. And so far with Dora the Explorer and Bandage protection color.